So if you actually go around, walk around, drive your car around, so think about the campaigns around you twice. Think about it as a customer, and also try to think about it in the marketers and strategist viewpoints. And you can interpret things differently, and you see things clearly as well. So that's the point, right? So anything else that I'd like to discuss tonight? Anything at all before we move on? So we're going to finish our class very soon. Anyway, but before moving on, I have to actually give the rewards to the winner for our presentation last time. So once again, congratulations. All of you, thank you. So it's the empty bag from Starbucks.
Very nice. Thank you.
So how many members in your group?
45.
All right. Good enough to see.
Is there enough in there?
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh.
So many types, including the new one, Christmas blend. And then you got 12 sticks for each of them, but there are too many because it's altogether 3,000 baht, right? So if you have altogether 45 members, it's fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
It helps you with your exams next week. So the way to consume it, so just consume it without any water, it helps. So our exam will be on Wednesday, as usual, so our class, and then what next? So what's the last exam of this semester for you? Accounting, so finish strong. It seems that you love accounting very much. Sorry? Yeah, I know. So no exam anymore. Everyone got your A's from marketing. That way. So have you known about the grade yet? Not yet even.
Can you just
Sorry.
Can you just tell us?
Okay. Would like to know about the grade?
Yeah.
What to do?
No, just put one by one. Pull one by one to check. Now that it's here, I don't know. I changed my mind. I've been complaining to Ajahn Bang for 4 weeks. Now it's here. I regret.
So I have to say, this is not official yet because I don't really know if the head of the department actually approved, but in general he approves everything. And my computer got hacked, no grades anymore. So it takes us about 5 minutes to let. Would like to know the grade right now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, but I cannot actually mention the name, just the student ID.
Do you want to plug it into the screen?
No, it's the name here.
Oh, on Excel you can't hide. Okay. Yeah.
18050. Oh, it's easier. So I put it right there and delete all the name then. ไม่ก่อน
We gotta know. Oh, sure. I might be able to do that. You never know.
Check can I get the link here?
Oh, of course.
It's different. Alright.
It should. You have Surface? Oh, they don't have the USB-C, right?
It's not working.
Surface my mini USB-C.
Let's try this way.
Oh, the dial. No, he's got it under control.
I try my best to show everything up. It has not been working, so there should be something wrong with the grade.
Don't say that.
It might surprise you.
No, you have to know. Take a videoด้วย Take a video as well. I thought you had on selfie.
จะไปชั่วเหรอนี่บอกว่าไปเช็ดทิชชู่มาสิ
It should be working now. So, are you ready? Do not take a picture yet. To look at you yourself, please. Do not take a picture yet. So number 1 to number 14, to make it larger. Number 1 to 13, you got to know your grades now. Then I move on to the next bit. Number 14 to number 26. Number 14 to number 26. You've got to know about your grades now. To move on, number 27 to number 39. Number 27 to number 39. Okay, and then the rest. You don't have to remember everything, you only need to remember yours. Are you okay? Okay. Are you okay? No. So in your, so just to let you know, you've done a good job, but for the exam, you might not, you might not have done quite a good job. Maybe the exam was difficult or something. So I made the decision to actually change the scheme, the grading scheme a bit. So I lower the threshold. I lower the threshold quite a bit. So, but it might be different for this subject. So keep in mind and try your best, right, for the exam to come. I lower the grading scheme a bit so it's not actually 85 for A. It's actually 80. It's 80 for A's. How about the other classes? How come it's quiet? You are thrilled or something. How about the other classes? You don't know the grades yet, and you might not be able to find even the professors. They disappeared already. What's the next step in your MBA life? If you decide to move on, and I encourage you to move on, right? So it's fine, and then you learn from the process, and you want, and your life cannot be worse by education, I think. So stay together first and let's see and move on. I encourage you to move on anyway. And what next? So we might meet up again at the end. So, but I will be around. But we will actually officially meet up again at the end. But not all of you, just some of you. And I might be in your oral presentation room. But we will meet up using the mean of the exam anyway, because your comprehensive exam in the part of marketing will be from me. Right? So we meet up using our exam anyway, but we can actually meet up around. And one day you need to make the decision for the your advisors for the IS. But it's not the time yet. Wait for a while, and then the program will announce. Right? It's the time to find the advisor. So if you think marketing might be the way to go, you can come and talk to me. If we got something in common, I mean the interests, then we might meet up quite often. Then, right? So that's the thing. But each year, I only have 3 places for my advisees, or 3 spots altogether, just to let you know. But if you think it's the professor that matters, that's wrong. It should be about your interest that matters, and trying to find the perfect fit in terms of interest. Right? That's what I have to say. And let's move on to the next bit, the last bit of our class. Going to be very quick actually, because we have already talked about everything throughout this many weeks. So in general, once we in actually chapter 2, once I introduce to you this kind of framework, then I need to talk about segmentation, targeting, and positioning. No need to talk about segmentation, targeting, and positioning anymore. You have already learned about them. So segmentation. And you won't see segmentation in your exam anymore this time, because we have already talked about it. Targeting and positioning, but keep in mind the trap for positioning is many people talked about the position of the product or brand in customer's mind, but that's not quite right. It's in the customer's mind in relation to competing brands. So you need a competitor right there as well. If not, it's not actually the positioning then. Right? So that's positioning. And after the STP, then you have the 4 Ps in place. And there should not be 4 Ps. Right? So these are the things that you learn throughout this semester. For P products, we talk about the quality and variety, design, features, and packaging, and many other things. And product labels, we talk about product mix decisions, and many other things. Right? So do not take product as product. So try to make it different and try to understand it in a more detailed matters. Right? You don't really have to be here as an MBA student to understand product is a product. Right? So P product, and this kind of packaging, this size, right? These colors, these features. That's not for the MBA students. You really need to understand product in a deeper way. For example, there are 3 product labels, and we look at one product in 3 labels, right? So that's the thing that makes you different as the MBA students. What else? Once we talk about products and the products range of a company, it's product mix decision, and we understand the width, the length, and the depth of the product mix. Something like that. So it's not actually P product and products. Just like what happened with P price, right? So what is about price? You said, so 19, 29, 39, these are our prices. So no, that's not for the MBA students here. So what you need to do, you need to think about is the pricing system. We understand price ceiling, we understand price flow, we understand the factor, internal factor and external factors for pricing. We understand many strategies of pricing, right? And there are many options for the strategies of pricing: psychological pricing, optional product pricing, right? And by-product pricing, two-part pricing, captive product pricing, everyday low price, and many other things, right? And we even mentioned name your own price, right? So it's not actually just the numbers or figures. That's prices, it's not pricing, right? And then once we talk about P-place, it's just a place to put your product right there and to sell the product. It's a channel of distribution. And we understand direct channel, indirect channel, right? So the 4 Ps happen to be just the overview of everything, but you learn many details about each P anyway. And P promotion is not actually promotion, it's actually marketing promotion or marketing communication. It's integrated marketing communication actually, so IMC, right? We got to know push and pull strategy. We mentioned the message execution. We talk about the 5 tools: advertising, PR, direct marketing, personal selling, and and sales promotion. And we talk about the 3 C's: clear, consistent, compelling, just like that, right? So we learn all the details of each P. It's not actually just 4 Ps. And this is important. This is the thing that will make you different from just the one who actually read through the marketing stuff and said, marketing is all about STP 4 Ps. No, it's something else. Deep down right there, right? So, and some of the marketers look at the 4 Ps in the different ways. So, as we mentioned, 4 Ps are more about inside-out way of thinking, our products, our price, our place, and our promotion. So it's inside out. On the other hand, what you can actually look at the 4 P's. We look at the 4 P's from the customer's viewpoint, and we found P products should be called customer solutions. Product is a product. Sometimes product cannot be sold, and product might not fit the needs of the customer because it cannot help or make the customer lives better. In that way, we change the product a little bit to customer solutions. So we will only sell solutions to our customer. It's not just the product. And we found many products that might not be able to sell. And that's because of the fact that it might not actually give any solutions to the customers, you see. So it's customer solution. P price is not actually price, it's customer's cost. So if you look at the price, it's the numbers that you like to set up. But if you look at it as the cost, you can think about customers more. Customer need to pay for it. So it's their cost. It's not our price. And you can come up with the customer cost very carefully. Because customer need to pay for it. So this is the way of thinking. Right? And then it's convenience. It's not place and no need to call it place anymore. Sometimes the product got no place to sell anyway. So what we need to talk about is convenience of the customer. Right? At the end, so it's not actually P promotion, it's communication. So P promotion is one way, but C communication is 2 ways communication. Right? It's better that way. So it's not just the terms. So keep in mind what we're trying to do right here is to look at things in terms of outside in matters anyway, even the principles of marketing. And at the end, you need to manage things. So what to do once again? Plan. So you do planning. You implement it. So plan, do, and check. So control. Try to control the implementation of your marketing plan, right? And actually, you need to actually do something better. So act, plan, do, check, act. Okay, so it's management matters. So at the end of the day, marketing is under management as well. So you need to manage marketing. I think this was the last bit of marketing, and this is actually the topics for your marketing plan. If you would like to come up with a marketing plan, then you have these 8 topics in your marketing plan, right? To make it concrete. So first thing first, the first topic in your marketing plan is executive summary. It should be in your IS as well. We call it abstract. Right? In general, it should not be more than 2 pages. So it's a summary for the executive, and executives in general got no time. So at most 2 pages for executive summary. Interestingly, this is actually the last thing that you need to write up. It's upfront, but it's the last thing you need to write up. You need to come up with everything first, right, in order to actually summarize it and then put it up front. So that's executive summary. And then you have what right here, current marketing situation, so macro, micro, environmental analysis. And try to understand strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, or whatever. Right? You can use many tools, and we talk about the tools of 3 C's: consumer, competitor, customers. We talk about pest analysis, politics, economic, social, technology. Right? And you can use many other tools, but you need to really understand the opportunity and threats in the market over here. So that's current marketing situation analysis. Right? And then you know about the threats and opportunities. Then you can come up with the objectives of your marketing plan. Once again, it needs to be measurable. All the objectives, right, should be measurable. Then marketing strategy, STP 4 Ps. STP 4 Ps. action program, so action plan. You can use a Gantt chart and say exactly when or what to do and when to do things, right? So that's action program. And interestingly, we put marketing budget toward the end. This important is the trap in the marketing world. Once we talk about marketing, many people try to come up with the budgets first. So what's the budget for next year? And then think about marketing. This is just wrong. What happened? If you got the budget in place, then you will be limited by some numbers. So good marketers try not to think about budgets that much upfront. Of course, budgets is important, but we think creatively. Think of our customer and try to come up with the many marketing plans, and at the end of the day, we look at the budget and we try to adapt what we have thought about later. That's the better way to go for marketing, right? And that's happened with some organizations. And I can mention one, even governmental organization is responsible for marketing. And this is Tourism Authority of Thailand. The way they do planning each year, they talk about all the activities, all about the campaigns, all about the strategies first, and then they look at the budget later on. That's the culture of the company in order to think creatively. And then if they don't really have that much money to spend, still, if they would like to put it, what to do is to ask their partners to contribute so we can go for sponsorship. If it's not working, go for the governmental support. If it's not working, then we adapt our activities. Right? That's the way of thinking of Tourism Authority of Thailand. Right? Even it is a governmental body, still is fine. Right? So once it's the business, it's going to be just fine. Right? So budget should be toward the end over here, and then you put marketing control at the end. Marketing control is KPI. For me, which one is the most important step, As being the judge of many competitions this year, I found out that objective plays a vital role. So in general, I look at the objectives first, right? If the plan got no concrete objectives, you see things will be scattered around. I look at the objective first, and then I look at the marketing strategy. And that brings me to the end of the chapter. Not very long, and some tools for you to learn more today, and also get to see the overview of everything that we have talked about throughout this semester. Okay, so what next? The exam. But before moving on to the exam, let me give you the summary first. It's the final class. It's marketing strategy and corporate strategy. 4 levels for the strategy, 4 things for the strategy in general. So, mission, objective, portfolio management, and business unit. For the 3 The first three parts, they are all about corporate level. And for the last bit, it's business unit level. Actually, mission and vision can be used interchangeably. Strictly, vision is something in the future. Mission is what you need to do right now. So let me give you the examples to make it clear. So our school, John Gong Business School, our vision is to be the leader of the business school in the region. We might not be there yet, right? But we want to be there in the future. So what should we do right now is mission. So the mission of our school first, create top tier research, hire top-notch professors, recruit top students, you see. So what we need to do, right, missions in order to go for vision, right? But in this book, in the slide, vision and mission were used interchangeably in Refine, right? But for objective setting, it should be measurable. And then we talk about portfolio. And portfolio management, we talk about two tools. There are actually tons of tools, but we chose two tools to talk about. So the 2x2 grid, BCG, and product market expansion grid. And then for business unit level, we talk about marketing in our class. I give you the overview of marketing with customer at the center. Then STP, then 4Ps, then management, then environment. And we talked about each topic in here in details a little bit more. So we talk about STP, talk about 4Ps, which turns to 4Cs. We talk about plan, do, check, acts. The management. And we end up talking about marketing plan. The 8 topics. And that's it for the strategy class. Then it's time for the exam. The exam will be on Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Which date is it? 12. That will be all together. So actually you got two choices. You remember last time all the questions were about short essays. But you have multiple choice questions at all. Some say multiple choice questions are dated. And I think so. So it should be in the same format then. Right? It will be in the same format. So altogether, I aim at about 5 questions. Short essay questions. Do not read through all these slides from the first part of the semester at all. No need to actually look at the slides from the first part of the semester. So we can start from this class. So this class will be week 9 onwards, right? So new product development, and product life cycle strategy, pricing, channel, and retail and wholesale. IMC and the last bit strategy. MC is integrated marketing communication. And the last bit, our discussions in the class. If you really want to focus on some chapters, I might say pricing. I might say IMC and discussion. Alright, discussion. What you need, once again, this time, it's 85 out of 100 to get your AA. If you can go for just 80, so what you need to do is to pray. That's what happened last time. Not many people can go beyond 85, then I need to actually lower the threshold. So it happens. It happens. You need to cheat. Yeah. To make it better this time is to cheat sheets. Why one cheat sheet last time and 2 cheat sheets this time? You happen to be older, so your vision might not be that good anymore, right? So you need bigger fonts. Any questions? Anything else that you're going to talk about at the end of our class tonight?
What is next market?
Sorry,
Next market person every year.
the next marketing course. So you can go for the consumer behavior class, and there will be two parts of consumer behavior as well, like consumer behavior analysis and consumer behavior design. So what will happen in those classes? So if you actually remember, sometimes we need to move the room from this room to the other room, and then what happened in this room, that then is about the consumer behavior classes. Consumer behavior, yeah. Dr. Wheeler is a real genius indeed.
How different it is?
How
Different
between
analysis and
it's the analysis is just the analysis part, and if you want to understand the strategy, then you need to go for the consumer behavior design. So it's the understanding part, and then it's the strategy part. So totally different, right? And I think you cannot go for the design part without going through the analysis part. The professor will allow you to do so. Very interesting class. The guy graduated from the second best university in the UK, and the name is Oxford.
It's not quite Cambridge, right?
Not quite Cambridge. Actually, he's my inspiration. He's my teacher. He is my professor. He was my professor. He is my real inspiration. So I follow his step. Indeed. So he got the degree here, and then went on to his master's degree at Yale University, and then moved on to Oxford University in the UK, and then I follow his step indeed. So from here, and then I said, I need to go to the Ivy League, so Cornell, and then he got the degree from Oxford, I got the degree from Cambridge. And then I came back, and still, he's my real inspiration. And he is very passionate about marketing. And if you Google his name, Wheeler, W-I-L-E-R-T, you see him all around in many industries. So the head of marketing departments. And I heard he's the dean to be in the next few weeks, so in the next few months. He's very interesting. He himself. Lots of fun. So that's the class. What else? Brands. So I may recommend you to actually take a look at your the brand class. Ajahn Kun Lee to be with you for that class. What else? Strategy. I think you got marketing strategy. I don't know if they offer you with marketing strategy class or not. Dr. Somkiat. We are strategy gurus. I remember the brand that he has been working with for many years is Pao, the detergent, Pao Silver Nano. And it's very interesting. And Pao was just followers in the market. And right now, Pao is actually a challenger using the Silver Nano methods. Okay? People can actually watch their clothes at night. Right? Because in many cities, you got the time to watch your clothes at night, right? And there will be some problem with the smell, but Silver Nano helps. Right? That's from Ajahn Somkiat. Very interesting guy as well. So you see, in the field of marketing, you have many good classes waiting for you, and What else? Nothing else. That's it. And the rest, accounting, finance, management. Please take this opportunity to actually appreciate what we actually have learned throughout this semester. And once again, it's not actually just the content of the class. It's not the content of the subject. You can actually read through the book, the textbook, and understand all the content. Anyway, I just would like to digest everything and make it easier for you to actually understand things. But at the end of the day, if you want to read through it, you can read through it and understand everything anyway. But you see, throughout these 16 weeks, I try to come up with some cases, real cases, right? And sometimes it's just a very good time that I actually participated in many events and competitions, Ant-Man, and national marketing plan competitions, right? And many other events, and we talk about them. And it's just a good time. I love the timing. We got to know about Icon Siam, we got to know about crisis of many companies, including D&G that we discussed today. Right? And we learned from all the cases, the real cases around the world. We could talk about 11/11 and many other scenarios throughout these 16 weeks, right? But at the end of the day, what you need to really understand, things changes all the time. And you need to keep learning anyway. So some students in the past asked, when will we be able to stop learning marketing? I said, I don't know, customer changes every day. And marketing is all about customer. If customer changes every day, you need to keep learning every day anyway. Do not think about it as your burden. Think about it as your passion. And if you think about it as your joy and fun, it's going to be interesting and it's going to be your happiness to learn new things all the time. Right. And today, during the flagship summit of our school, the event that I went to, right, we found out the simple thing that people talk about all the time is that keep changing. But saying keep changing is very easy. But in the real world, keep changing is very difficult because people love their status quo just like that and would like to be in the comfort zone. To keep changing is very easy to say, but it's very difficult to do, right? So I hope you keep changing, right? According to the world that will be changing, right? All the time, and your customers as well. So I don't know what to say, but we're going to meet up again next week anyway. But as this is the last bit of our class, I would like to say that thank you so very much for participating, for coming to the class, for concentrating to what we have been discussed throughout this semester. And I hope you get the essence of marketing. It's the way of thinking of others, right? And try to make people happy. And I hope you get this essence of marketing and you can use it to make people around you happy. And I really hope that all the happiness that you actually gave to everyone around you will actually return to you multiplied. And the next thing, I wish you good luck in your exam. And once you actually walked out of the exam room, you let your friends know that this is just delighting moments. So more than expectation. So better than the expectation. But you know what? Marketing is all about customer, of course, but Marketing July is a bit different. It's not about just the customers themselves. It's about good deeds as well. So Chulalongkorn University got this essence in the brands. And we discussed about Chula brands before. It's not just about others, it's about sharing value and integrity. So sometimes you need to choose business and good deed. And if you are Chula marketer, you choose good deeds. Right? So it's not actually just the customer part, it's good deed as well. If you combine the two things together, that will be Chula marketer. Right? So at the end of our class, I'd like to actually remind you with this kind of thing from Chula. So, small token of appreciation. This is a pin, Chula pin. Just would like to give you as a token of appreciation and like to thank you for everything that you have done throughout this semester. So thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
ขอบคุณครับ
เดินมารับได้เลยครับ
เ